we need to look at the actual title race. Now, I mean, we probably thought, I've said this before, I think I said this last week in the pod, after the 2-each game with Celtic, it just kind of felt like Rangers were out of it. It was going to be between Hearts and Celtic. Maybe not in terms of points per se, but the kind of psychological blow of losing those 2 goals at home against Celtic. But obviously Hearts defeat at Kilmarnock, Celtic lose at the weekend, I think unexpectedly at Tannadice. Suddenly Rangers are second, 3 points behind, 7 games to go. I've heard some people in the last 24 hours, ex-players, Kevin Thompson, Chris Boyd, saying Rangers, they think Rangers are now going to win it. I mean, after the 4-1 against Aberdeen, where does this leave Rangers' title challenge? What do you think? Are Rangers now favourites to go and win this?
Listen, I think they're in a better place than they were 2 weeks ago, as you say. Listen, I think that's what you say there about the psychological aspect to it. I think that's the key to it. I mean, it's funny, like, because all of us have been saying there's going to be twists and turns because none of the teams are good enough to go in prolonged, stretches of wins. We know that they're going to have bumps in the road. And it's funny that I think all of us, even as journalists, as fans, as players, as coaches, you get caught up in the immediacy of the results and you tend to jump to sort of make immediate judgments on what we've seen. And which is strange because we've all acknowledged that there's going to be twists and turns. And I think so these bumps in the road that the teams are suffering aren't unexpected. We've all predicted that they're going to suffer them. So I think what's key is whoever manages the highs and lows of it. What I'd say in a Rangers point of view is I don't think Danny Rohl has ever really shown. I mean, I know our columnist Chris Sutton accused him of sort of being a bit talking too much and getting a bit overconfident at times. I must say, I don't really see that. I think he attempted a wee bit of mind games. Maybe it didn't work ahead of the Old Firm game, but I think he's always, after a defeat, refused to be too low. I think at times, even on Saturday after the win there, he wasn't making any grand boasts about where he was. I think he's, again, just one game at a time sort of mantra that we hear a lot. What I would say is I think, like Derek McInnes, I think Derek McInnes has done exactly the same. Martin O'Neill's attempted it as well. So what's key is that whoever, the team that wins the league will be the one who handles and it's an obvious point, but it's not about handling the highs. It's whoever handle the lows the best, whoever will be able to shake them off and get them to go again. Listen, I think Hearts have done that terrifically well. Listen, they've creaked a wee bit recently. I think it's I think they'd only won 4 or 9 before, so it's maybe 4 out of 10. 5 out of 10 was at the weekend was a 5th win in 10 games. So they have been up and down a wee bit, but when they've had a bad result, they've responded to it. So have Rangers and so have Celtic at times. So it's about whoever can, brush off the defeats, the draws, and get going again. Which is why I still think, because I think all of them have done that, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was Rangers to slip up next week against Dundee United, or if it was, Hearts when they go to Livingston. I think I still think it's too close to call. It's fascinating. The Rangers, I think Rangers are trending in the right direction, but then we spoke often enough about this team having a weak chin, being psychologically weak at times. I think that the January signings have made an improvement, but they're not there yet. They're not a team yet you can hang your hat on and say they're championship material. So I still think there's going to be a few weeks yet before you can get you can be confident in saying what way it's going to go. I don't know about you. How do you see it? I mean, are you seeing signs of things to be, if you're a Rangers fan, to be hopeful?
You dodged that question brilliantly. That was superb.
Take a lot of career in politics, man.
Tell you what I think. I think Rangers have obviously put themselves right back in it. In terms of being favourites, I think Hearts are still favourites, and I'll tell you why. Rangers they've got Falkirk away to come before the split, and then we're pretty certain that after the split, Rangers are going to have Hearts and Celtic away. And that's tough on them. No, when you think at this stage in the season, I know. Listen, that was always going to be the kind of schedule, but tough game. So I think Hearts just having that slight points advantage and knowing getting into the split, Rangers have got the away games. And I know. Listen, Hearts will have tough away games as well. Still to come. They'll not get it easy at Livy next time out either, even though Livy look all but down. That might be a danger if Livy suddenly play without any kind of pressure. I think Hearts are still slight favourites. I think Celtic, I don't want to say they're out of it, but I think they're really struggling after the weekend. I mean, watching that Celtic performance,
I think they've got no room for error now. I think. I don't necessarily think you have to win the Old Firm game, but I think both teams have to beat Hearts.
Yeah,
to have any shot. But I think both teams can afford a draw in the Old Firm at Parkhead, and I think it wouldn't surprise me if that ended up a draw. But I think both teams know that they're going to have to beat Hearts, and obviously Celtic. I think they host Hearts at Parkhead after the split, don't they? So, I think that's I think that's the important one. That they both have to try and knock Hearts out of this any way they can.
Right. I mean, that Celtic performance at the weekend. I mean, when they go to Dens Park in their next game, I mean, unless Celtic up that performance tenfold, I mean, they're going to struggle at Dens Park as well. I mean, they were woeful on Sunday, and Dundee.
They've just got so little. I mean, you talk about Rangers at the top end; they're not scoring goals, but at least they've got a presence at the top end. Celtic don't even have that. And if it's not Benjamin Negrin basically scoring them goals, then they really do look shy in that front.
Yeah, I mean, they look weak defensively as well. I think Celtic, and I think the big thing watching Celtic on Sunday was, and it's very, very rare that I've said this of any Celtic team, it feels like in the last decade, was the lack of hunger and appetite and application. I mean, it feels like you never see that for a Celtic team that's got guys like Callum McGregor and Kieran Tierney and Liam Scales that in it. No, guys that know what it's all about. That really took me. I know people are saying, bad pitch and Celtic haven't been great for them, so maybe you could expect it. I mean, I think Chris Sutton was saying the TV, it wasn't a big surprise. To me, that was a big surprise with everything that's at stake against a Dundee United team.
Especially the way that Celtic, when you talk about a lack of hunger, that is not something I don't think you could throw at this Celtic team, when you consider the amount of points that they've snatched from losing positions, or the amount of wins that they've grabbed in the last throws of games. I mean, that has been the one thing that's kept them in this title race, is that they're desired not to be beaten or not to drop points. So
I think having lost 8 games now, and as I say, Dundee away next, I think they're struggling. So I do think Hearts and Rangers are kind of in the driving seat, but I just make Hearts slight favourites, just because of those post-split fixtures.
I think Gers coming back as well. Obviously, Shanklin back at the weekend, Cammy Devlin back. You've got Stuart Finlay to come back, a few other boys as well. I mean, Hearts are only getting stronger as the title race finishes, comes to a conclusion. I mean, like Danny Rohl did make a point of praising the Rangers physios and saying like he's got 23, 24 guys fit right now, which is remarkable. And it is, when you consider Rangers injury troubles at times this season. I must admit, I think this is the Rangers medical team have been pilloried at times over the last couple of years, but this season, whatever you want to say, whatever faults Rangers have had, it's not been down to a lack of fitness or a lack of fit bodies available. I mean, they've had a good run of that. I mean, it's been other aspects that have let them down this year.
Yeah. And as you touched on at the top, I suppose the slight worry for Rangers is the fact that the strikers aren't scoring. I mean, I said on here last week, that clean sheets might end up winning Rangers the title, because I feel as if Fernandes and Giger and such good for them. But Hearts are doing that as well, to their credit. I mean, 4 1-0 wins at Tynecastle in a row. I mean, that is like, they deserve huge credit for that in the midst of a title race. They have that kind of solidity and resilience, and to get through those games, tough games, and just nick a goal and keep the back door shut.
But just to go back to that topic, I mean, just about the strikers, but I mean, is there something to be said, right? Okay, Termitty's hot and cold, and more cold than hot, to be fair, but the games he's been hot in are the games that are coming up. The games when there's something on the line. I mean, this is what Rangers have to hope. They have to hope that this is when he catches fire.
This is it.
Basically.
Yeah, is he going to turn up at Tynecastle and Parkhead again? And